Salutations! My name is Alex Koeppel, and the following video is my podcast letting you all know how technology has affected the world of entertainment, specifically in the area of recording. Most of you know a little bit about the history of recording, from Thomas Edison's tinfoil phonograph to Les Paul's genius creation of overdubbing, and all the way to the birth of the digital era when Sony and Philips produced the standard for compact disc read-only memory, also known as CD-ROM. But I'm not here to give you a history lesson. I'm here to tell you about how the ever-changing technology affects the recording industry. So, without further ado, hardware. Wikipedia says the definition of hardware is the physical artifacts of a technology or the physical components of a computer system. It also says that hardware historically meant the metal parts and fittings that were used to make wooden products stronger, more functional, longer lasting, and easier to fabricate or assemble. Now, one might think that the bit with the wooden products and metal parts has nothing to do with recording, so let's use our imaginations for just a second. Let's pretend the wooden product is a song or piece of unrecorded music, and let's also pretend that the metal parts and fittings that make said wooden product stronger, longer lasting, and easier to fabricate or assemble are different pieces of hardware used for recording. One such item is a computer, probably the most important and influential device in recording to date. However, I feel that goes without saying. I have here a few devices that might make a day in the life of a recording artist much easier and even a little bit more fun. I have with me a guitar effects pedal. This one's made by Zoom. It's the G1X. This basically allows you to put certain effects onto your guitar sound. As you can see here, there's a wah pedal. Do one of these bad boys. It also acts as a volume pedal. You can put delays on it, a flange effect. This gives the recording artist a number of avenues to go down in terms of what sounds are coming out of the amp that are going into the computer being recorded. I also have here a MIDI interface. This one happens to be made by M Audio. It's called the Fast Track Pro. This basically allows people to record directly onto a computer via USB, and here's the USB cord right here if you can see it. This allows you to record up to 4 instruments directly into the computer. You can record them simultaneously as one track or individually, so editing becomes easier. This is a giant breakthrough in terms of recording. I think everybody will agree with me. Here we have a classic setup, and I'm going to break it down for you guys real quick. This basically ties everything together. Here we have guitar amp, we have guitar. The digital effects pedal is running through the amp, which we then connect to the interface, which we then connect to the computer via this USB cord, which you can't see because it's plugged in, actually. This basically allows the person that's playing the guitar virtually endless possibilities as far as sound is concerned. This example right here just goes to show you the impact that technology has had on our recording industry. Software. Wikipedia again defines software as a general term used to describe the role that computer programs, procedures, and documentation play in a computer system. Basically, they're the intangible part of the computer system, which basically means these things cannot be touched. I have here with me a version of Logic Studio. There's a glare, so I'm going to turn it like this so you guys can see it. This is just one of many examples of software being used in the industry. This one happens to come with a couple different programs, including flexible audio, amps and stomp boxes, live performance, multi-track production, audio effects, instruments and loops. Literally millions and millions of possibilities on this thing. You could make your own drum beat. They have predetermined drum beats. There's audio effects. There's different loops on here. You can have a whole symphony created basically from the loops on this thing. And if you pretty much tie together the hardware that we use and the software, there are an unfathomable amount of possibilities to use to your advantage to make your music sound better. The industry is growing exponentially, and who knows where it's going to go within the next 5, 10, 20 years. It's anybody's guess.